Before the arenas, before the awards.
This is b4Nashville Live. Have a question for our guest? Send it to us via Messenger.
Here's your host, George Davis.
Hey, welcome back to Before Nashville, where we introduce the country stars of tomorrow to the country fans of today. And tonight, I've got a Mo-Bro with me. He's got some ties to my home state of Missouri. So we're going to be talking to him. It's Joey Hurd, and we'll be checking in with him in 30 seconds.
Before Nashville is proudly sponsored by Go-Go Tuners, the go-to tuners for professional and amateur musicians. Get your Go-Go Tuner at gogotuners.com. By Heart to Heart Coffee, the coffee that gives back. Find out more at heart2heartcoffee.com. By Cibby's Apparel, worn by heroes, made with respect. Order yours at cibby'sapparel.com. And by Three Rangers Whiskey, not for the weak or faint-hearted. ThreeRangers.com.
All right, and we are back with another edition of Before Nashville, and joining me from Southwest Missouri, and he is a Nashville recording artist. He has spent time in Nashville, and he is out in Branson right now. It's Joey Hurd. Joey, how you doing, man?
Hey, good. How y'all?
Doing great, man. Doing fantastic. So glad to have you on tonight. It's good to have I like to call them my Mo-Bros, all my Missouri guys that hang out. So, got a lot of them. So let's just jump into this feat first and see what we come up with. Tell me a little bit about Joey Hurd growing up, where it was, and how it transpired into the music career.
Sure. Well, I learned that I could sing along with the radio. I was about 8 years old, and then I started singing at church. Did maybe a Christmas cantata, Easter cantata. And I kept singing along with the radio and getting a knack for country music. And then I was about 11 years old. I first had my formal vocal training, vocal coach, and then since then, I've had about 5 different vocal coaches over the years, including in college. And then, 12 years old, I started my first professional platform in Branson, Missouri. And that's kind of how that went down for the next, over a decade. And then 2011, we moved to Nashville and started getting the ropes, learning the ropes there, and still working on that. So we've had some pauses here and there in the journey, for sure.
Was it a hard transition from Branson's music scene to Nashville's music scene?
Oh yeah, it's non-comparable. It's a totally different animal. I mean, they had to, I know in Music City, they had to say, you need to stop dancing on stage. You're doing too much dancing on stage. My motto, though, and I think my bandmates and anybody working with us will, can relate to this and understand that it's anything to entertain people. So I can throw jokes out there. Now, my wife will get on to me. She'll be out there and she'll say, you're talking too much, or you're joking around too much. You gotta keep the show going. And so she'll get on to me, and I'll see that. She'll do a little something with her face or with her eyes, or, a pierce of the lips or something, lets me know that, okay, you've joked along too much. You need to keep it going. So,
are there different stages to her looks and stuff so that okay, I can back off a little, or, oh my gosh, I got to cut this out? Like she bears her head in her hand, and then, nope, I got to stop.
Yeah, she does a little something. And, and in fact, I even know when I'm going to be in trouble later that night, for sure. Like when you're done working, you're in big trouble. And so I know what that looks like too. I've seen that. So.
Right.
Right now she's driving the vehicle and she's smiling because she knows it's true.
Right. There you go. But once she gets to the stoplight, you're in trouble.
What's that?
I said, once you get to the stoplight, you're in trouble.
Oh, I tell you. Well, we're fixing to go through a roundabout, so if she starts swatting at me at the roundabout, we're definitely going to be in trouble. Yeah, never know which way this car is going to go. Yeah, we have fun though. I call her the CEO of Herd Music Company, which what we operate under, and she kind of laughs it off, but really she's the backbone to what I'm doing, and she's a proud supporter, for
Right.
sure.
Right. Now
Secretly.
your instrumental background, I mean, you started off playing drums, and was it guitar that you started off with, or piano? Which one was that?
Yeah, I should have started off with the piano. I started off with the guitar and drums.
Okay.
Drums, what I really excelled in, those first few years for sure. But I am not phenomenal at either one these days. I write songs, I entertain people by moving around and just, I think my voice is probably my forte. I would say.
Right.
And then, of course, trying to make people laugh. I love to make people laugh. And usually, I try to get them to laugh at me or something I could do to make fun of myself. And usually my bandmates kind of help out with that. So they'll miss a cue, or if it's one of those dad jokes that just not everybody's getting. So we quickly spin that around, and so the humor comes at making fun of the man that signs their checks. So
right.
So
So
you never know. Every room's different. You never know what's going to happen.
it's always at the expense of the boss.
Yeah, always. But we have casinos and festivals, and I believe at least one or two state fairs later this year. And so we do a mix of different rooms, but we try to cater to all age demographics in everything that we do.
Right.
So we're not writing a song or putting a song out there on in the sets that grandma can't listen to either,
Right.
or somebody below 16, or So
right.
we try to captivate everybody.
Oh, absolutely. So tell me about, I mean, here you are, you're growing up, you're 12 years old, you make your first appearance in Branson. So you're starting your musical career. Who were some of the artists that kind of led you into that career?
Well, I'd say number one on the top of the list, Mr. George Strait, of course. I probably watched Pure Country 55 times and a half. Yeah, geez. I watched that movie. I wore that movie out. Had it on VHS. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
And I'd say George Strait. Who else? Kenny Rogers.
Right.
There's a rasp to Kenny Rogers' voice, and I've got a certain rasp to my voice when I sing.
Right.
Whether I'm singing country music or I'm singing Christian music, it don't matter. It's there, So the natural spot in my excuse me, in my voice is there. You'll hear it. You hear it in the Mirror Never Lies. Mirror Never Lies is my latest single since that pandemic, and you hear it on the 13-track How It Feels album. We recorded at Sound Emporium in Nashville. So I believe those two, if I had to pick two, those are the greatest influences for me, especially at a tender age.
Right. And you mentioned earlier that you wrote as well. Now on this On the album that you got out, how many of those songs did you write personally, or did you have a hand in writing? Or
And the How It Feels album,
yes,
they all came from songwriter friends of mine. Even Country Life is written by the legendary Paul Overstreet.
oh wow,
Paul and Tommy, they have quite a history in country music.
right,
And I'm kind of, I could wholeheartedly agree with George Strait in the fact that, well, if I'm not writing the big songs, then I'm going to go get those songs from the ones, that are writing, or the hit makers,
right,
So, but I've got a newer producer now, and we're actually songwriting partners as well. And we've got some nuggets that we are working on, and we've got a couple titles that we're really excited to not only record for my next album, but to pitch to other artists as well.
right.
And then we've got some songs we're holding on from some Grammy Award-winning songwriters as well. And we picked out about 3-5 that were pitched to us. But we're doing a lot more writing together, than I believe that I ever have. So we've got at least, our goal is to do 3 new singles this year.
Okay.
And we're really excited about getting those out. And of course, doing those strategically, we're not just going to release them all at once.
Right. Just put them out there with spacing in between them, so you give them a little bite, and then they want more. So that's what you want to do,
Yeah, absolutely. I could see if I could do a music video over every one. Oh, it'd be awesome. But I can't. We did a music video for "The Mirror Never Lies." It was a very, special song to me, important song to me. My friend Mike, who is the main writer for that song, he had passed away a couple years ago. Just suddenly, nobody was expecting it, and we did a music video over that. And actually, my wife, the first part of the music video, she shows up in there as a bartender, and I was proud to have her in my first big music video. And we hope to do more. So,
right.
So when we'll do another music video, I'm just not sure. We are doing some video work, but not necessarily a music video.
Right.
It's probably a little more important to get those singles out there,
Right. So when you are writing, where are you getting your inspiration from when you write?
Well, usually, I think we kind of lean more towards love, and and the relationship between a man and a woman, and all those different scenarios that come with,
Right.
So first and foremost, it's about love, slow or fast. And I think we're kind of on the love boat for now. Rocking the boat, stuff like that.
Rocking the boat, trying to stay in the boat.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay in the boat. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're trying to stay away from dog houses and trucks, stuff like that.
Right. But that is one country song I have not heard anybody write yet, is about being in the doghouse.
Oh, really? I remember one. I wish I could give you this title of this one of the singles we are working on, because it's different, but I can't. I'm sorry.
I get it. It's top secret, and we don't want that line around the studio.
Right, that's right. Yeah, we're excited. we're doing more shows. More shows this year than we had last year, and of course, I believe this to be a building year, also for venues, for artists, and all
Mm-hmm.
the way around America.
Right.
It's we'll see what this year really brings.
Yeah, you're doing a
But
lot of festival stuff, a lot of festival work, aren't you, this year?
yeah, and we at least have one casino that is every 6 weeks in rotation, and we're proud of that.
Mm-hmm.
The general manager and marketing guy for that is very very good to us. In fact, Sarah Evans was just there, I believe. She was just there a little bit ago, and I think last week. Shenandoah is going to be there. We're all on the same stage. It's ABC artists, all green room, same stage, and that's kind of what I like about that particular casino. But,
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
yeah.
What is one song that you think to yourself, man, I so wish I'd have written that song?
Ah. Um. Gee, what song is that? Probably one of my favorite ones to sing, huh? I kind of wish, as an older, well, as a daddy, I don't mean older,
Mhm.
old at all. I mean, my family laughs at me.
Right.
They tease me all the time, every day at least twice a week. Yeah, I'm old. Thanks.
Aren't we
But
all?
Lee Brice, boy.
Oh, yeah.
As a daddy, I wish I wrote that song, boy.
Mhm.
And not at that perspective. I wish I wrote. Well, I've got a great story about this one, but Earl. I'm not Earl, but he was one of the writers. It was Friends in Low Places.
Oh, yeah.
And I was doing a show on the other side of Music Row, across from Vanderbilt, actually. And this guy, drunk as a skunk, long stringy hair, comes walking up to the stage, and I'm coming off the stage, and with my guitar. He said, "Hey, let me borrow your guitar." And I'm like, "Hey, you get back! You ain't touching this. I just got this guitar." And the general manager quickly came over and said, hey, this is Earl. He co-wrote Friends in Low Places. And he said, "I promise your guitar will be fine. Just let him, And so Earl sat up there and, drunk as a skunk, sang Friends in Low Places, and we all sang along. And
Wow.
yeah, I never had him sign that guitar. I still have that guitar. It's the guitar I still use. And I never thought about, I didn't have this phone. I have the iPhone 14, I didn't have a fancy phone like that or nothing. A lot of people I've met, I didn't get a picture with them because I didn't think about it. I didn't get
Right.
Earl's signature on my guitar because I didn't think about it. I'm like, "Oh, well, nice to meet you."
Yeah.
And these days I'm just like, "Oh, hey, let's do a selfie." Instagram.
Yeah. You
So
gotta hit it on social media.
yeah. Anyways, that's my little story there.
Right.
But yeah, I'm just excited. Just excited. I'm glad to be on here with you tonight.
Well, I'm glad to have you on. It's like I said, it's nice to have somebody on that we've got more than just one or two connections. I mean, there's several in there. And speaking of music, and you mentioned this song earlier, I want to take a quick break here and share uh, The Mirror Never Lies with people. I want them to hear that song and be able to. I've been listening to it, and I really enjoy it. I think it's a great song. It's got a good story behind it. I mean, the song itself is just phenomenal. So I'm really impressed by it, and I want to share that with everybody if that's all right.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
All right, so we'll come back and we're going to do The Mirror Never Lies, and we'll do that in 30 seconds, so hang on.
b4Nashville is proudly sponsored by Go-Go Tuners, the go-to tuner for professional and amateur musicians. Get your Go-Go Tuner at gogotuners.com. By Heart to Heart Coffee, the coffee that gives back. Find out more at heart2heartcoffee.com. By Sibby's Apparel, worn by heroes, made with respect. Order yours at sibby'sapparel.com. And by Three Rangers Whiskey, not for the weak or faint-hearted. ThreeRangers.com.
It looks like you could use a shave and a couple of good nights sleep. Man, I just saw you yesterday, but I guess I didn't see just how bad you've been slipping. Everybody says you're living pretty rough. What kind of friend would I be if I didn't say you need to straighten up? You made it crystal clear that you don't want to hear, so I'm giving you a visual this time. You won't believe nobody else, so turn and face yourself and tell me what you see in your own eyes. The mirror never lies. I think I see a little gray, but that don't mean you're old. You might have lost a little faith, but you ain't sold your soul. These dreams that you've been seeking, well, it might be you could reach it after all. Yeah, but what the hell do I know? I'm only a reflection on the wall. You made it crystal clear that you don't want to hear, so I'm giving you a visual this time. You won't believe nobody else, so turn and face yourself and tell me what you see in your own eyes. The mirror never lies. If you want to hear me, go on and give me your best shot. It'll get you 7 years of something you've already got. If you walk away from me, you'll be running out on you. It's time to face the truth in your own eyes. The mirror never lies. The mirror never lies. The mirror never lies. The mirror never lies. It looks like you could use a shave and a couple of good nights sleep.
All right, that is Joey Hurd and The Mirror Never Lies. There's one part in that song that I have to say reminds me, and I know you're going to not believe this, but it actually reminds me of Nickelback and when they did the song with Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top.
Oh,
Oh, shoot, what was the name of it? Rockstar, where he does that low talk there, where in that one part it says, you're not old.
Oh, yes, yes.
That
Yeah, it was
that
my
was that's very cool.
that was my producer. He did that, and he said, at first I didn't know what to think about it. Then he dressed it up a little bit more, and then the way he did it, and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah, let's leave that in.
Yeah,
Yeah, we really,
yeah.
yeah,
Well, and I work with a lot of veteran organizations, and I could see that song being targeted to veterans, especially now with it used to be they would say 22 a day, and now there's kind of a little bit of a controversy. Is it 22 or 25 that commit suicide a day? But regardless, it's however many too many, whether it's 22 or 25, it's too many. And that song just kind of, you know, um, and I know it's kind of you talking to yourself in the song, but it just has that feeling of you're talking to, somebody like that, somebody that's down at the bottom and they need a hand up, and you're offering them that hand up by being honest with them.
oh sure, yeah. I think um, being able to look in the mirror every day
Hmm.
and just to tell yourself that you're worth it and those around you are worth it. To get up every day knowing that you have a purpose, and we all know that God put us here for a purpose on this earth.
Hmm.
But then um, you have a duty to others, and I'm a daddy, I'm a father, and I'm a husband, so those two for me, are first and foremost, but
Right.
then, I've got a purpose outside of my family as well, you
Right.
know. So we all need that pep talk, we all need to look in the mirror, and it's good for our own psyche, to carry out each and every day for sure, especially these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
um,
uh, we had some, I told you about that when we were talking earlier, and I told you about the awards banquet.
mhm.
It reminded Scarecrow was up for an award last week. It's Scarecrow. You know what kind of award that was he got?
No.
He was outstanding in his field. do do do. Yeah, there you go. Thing right there.
Uh, you got me on that one. I gotta say.
Oh, I could ramble them off, but yeah, I know we're just about out of time, probably.
Right. Little delayed there, but I got it in.
Nice. Um,
So, let's talk touring for just a second. If you could
sure.
open for an artist, who would you want to open for?
Oh boy, let's see. Um, who would I want to open for? All right, so probably nobody too similar to me. That's for sure. I think I would probably like to open for um hmm, you know what? Yeah, I'd say I'd like to open for Lee Brice, and then
Oh yeah,
second to that, can I have a second?
yeah.
I'll second that one. I would say, oh gee, Lee Brice for sure. I'm trying to think of the right lady, a female singer.
Hmm.
Uh, Gee, there's so many of them today. I'd probably open for Carrie Underwood. I'm not sure if that's the perfect fit,
it's definitely a good choice, I would
Shania
have to
Twain.
say.
Yeah, Shania Twain is in her book the all-time the ultimate.
Mhm.
So she only cares if I'm opening for Shania Twain. So,
Right.
we ever get the Shania Always tour going, that would be good.
There
So
you go.
hint, Shania.
Shania, if you're watching or listening, then keep that in mind.
Shania Always 2030.
There you go. And what about if you were headlining a tour and you could have two people open for you, who would you want to take out on tour with you?
Gee, you know what? I'd love. Okay, this is easy. This is great. I would love Scotty McQuarrie. Am
Mm-hmm.
I saying right? Yeah, Scotty.
McCreary, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I would love for him to. And now then, oh, they're so similar though. But I'd love for Joe Nichols to do it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he is so. We're acquainted with his wife actually,
Okay.
and they're like the perfect couple. They're so sweet, both of them. But yeah, I'd say Joe Nichols and Scotty McQuarrie. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
who
That would
else?
be a good show. I would pay money to see that show.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Yeah. I wouldn't hit you up for free tickets. Well, maybe two.
There you go. Wow.
When you're doing your shows, of course, we know that no matter what country music says, I mean, everybody does cover songs in their sets. You know, Carrie Underwood does Paradise City, and I've seen the band Perry do Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. What is
Yeah.
one cover song that you love to do in every one of your shows? That's kind of your go-to cover tune to do. You may have a lock up there.
Yeah. So right now, that favorite cover song is Heads Carolina.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah, we and I was out with the boys catching up underneath the neon light, you know.
Yep.
The whole scenario of that song is just fun, and you know, of course, we don't have any ladies in the band to do Jody Messina voice or anything. So we haven't got that part quite figured out, you know. So
Just put the bass player in tighter underwear and he'll be able to hit them notes.
oh, Larry'd love to hear that. That's our band leader too. Why give him an extra hat? That's yeah. Favorite right now. I think one of my all-time favorites is later number one. It was certainly a number one hit because my friend Chip, God rest his soul, Chip Davis wrote that song,
Uh-huh.
and it was able to put a $72,000 studio on the top of his estate out in Mount Juliet,
Wow.
and
Wow.
and I think I can say that his brother Billy won't come after me, but yeah, that and actually a few weeks ago I was invited to open up for Mr. Chris Cagle down in Fort Smith, Arkansas, but we just had a time. We sick or this happened, that happened, and it just I could not do that. You know, I
Right.
could not make that trip to go do that because I had to take care. I had to take care of one of
Right.
you know.
And now you also, speaking of Chris Cagle, you got a connection to
Wasn't gonna
him
leave him
that
at the
helps
time.
you out in your career. What's that?
What? Oh, I said what kind of gone? Chris Cagle.
Yeah. Yeah. And you actually won an award doing that song, right?
Oh, Oh yeah, I forgot. No, it was a different Chris Cagle song. During which was coming up here soon, CMT week, or CMA Fest.
Yeah, CMA Fest. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that was. It was What a Beautiful Day. What a
Yeah.
beautiful day. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was live at the Nashville Palace.
All right.
Up there by the Opry House. Oh, I remember that like it was yesterday.
Yeah. And just to let you know, today is 49 days until CMA Fest.
Go. There we go. Countdown.
Yeah. So get your tickets while you can, folks.
We were actually invited to do CMA Fest this year.
You were?
Yeah, absolutely. We were invited to do CMA Fest this year, but we have a schedule conflict because of what we're already contracted to do at one of the casinos. It just never.
Oh man, because I was actually. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said the timing. It goes back to the timing. I told him next year. Get a hold of us.
Yeah, I'm actually considering going to CMA Fest this year and maybe doing some stuff for the radio station I work for. So
there you go. Oh, it's always a fun time.
Oh yeah, I've never been.
Oh, you'll love it.
I've been in this industry for I've been in radio for 30, almost 40 years, and I've been in country music for about 15, and I have yet to go to CMA Fest.
Okay, this is your year. You got to go. Go for me.
I will. There you go. Looking back on what you know now and what you knew when you were growing up, if you could give yourself one piece of advice, what would that be?
Learn piano first, and learn piano inside and out, and study music theory inside and out. Too busy slacking off, and I tell you, that's one thing I would go back to be young again,
Right,
and to be wrapping my head around music theory and the piano at that. Start with that. Anybody, I'm telling you, it's huge.
I never learned piano. I started off. I play drums. Well, used to play. I don't. It's been so long. I don't know if I could keep a beat anymore. But that was my instrument of choice.
Sure. We always love those because they're loud and they're fun, and you get to crash things and smack things. Cymbals and. But in fact, you do them both. You do the piano and the drums. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. My parents hated me when I was learning to play drums because the only big enough room in the house to put my drum kit in that I had bought, I was playing music, and then we found this massive drum kit, and the only room big enough was their bedroom. So I used to go in there on Saturdays at 6:00 and wake them up.
Oh wow! That's way too early.
But I was so excited to play and get on the drums and stuff, and I think I have an animal in here.
Oh
no, maybe not. I thought I saw one of my cat's ears go by the front of the desk. I'm like, how did he get in here?
Well, my family left me in the SUV. I think they're showers and stuff.
They went in to get ready for bed.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. It's late this time of year when there's no more sunlight.
Right. Right. Well,
usually I'm actually waiting for that sun to stay out just a little bit longer.
It'll get there.
We're getting there for sure.
Yeah. We've got some lightning around. Had some lightning around here. I think it might be gone now.
Sure those storms passed through here early.
Oh yeah, y'all got them real early. We just got them tonight, so they were moving pretty slow. Now, with all the venues that you've played between Nashville and Branson and everywhere in between, what is your favorite venue to play and why?
Oh, gee. Um, oh, right. I don't know. Gee, what's my favorite venue to play? One of my favorite is Lake of the Ozarks. Has a really awesome amphitheater um, out there. Yeah, called Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar,
Hmm.
and so it has an outdoor amphitheater, um, indoor outdoor restaurant. You know, of course, the patio seating around the amphitheater, and the food is great.
Hmm.
They always treat us very well when we go there um, to put on a show for them. Um, I know that the last time, for the year that we were there last year, the night before El King played there, and then
Wow.
he was there. El King was there on Friday. This is, I believe, September. And then we were on Saturday night,
Wow.
and we not have, but we still had a great time. And I heard she just had that really packed out there, the night
Yeah.
before. So, and we had people that came to our show that said they were at El King the night before, and I'm like, well, God bless you for coming back and coming to hear. We're not as pretty. So, uh, there's a, but yeah, it's called Encore Lakeside Grill and Sky Bar, Lake of the Ozarks, Missouri.
I'll have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, my two boys live out at Lake of the Ozarks. They live around Eldon, and
Oh yeah.
so I'll have to
Yeah,
go
I've
out there
got.
and check it out next time I'm out. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we just keep finding connections. There's just always something in here. That's pretty neat.
Absolutely. I
Um,
hope we don't.
my my oldest son was a police officer for Eldon for a while, and he still does auxiliary work, but he's a nurse up in Kansas City. And then my youngest son is a football coach at the high school, I think, or middle school in Eldon.
Oh, oh, that's awesome.
And yeah, and he
Well, you
teaches.
got to
He
be
also
proud of that
teaches.
yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah, very proud. Got two kids in healthcare. I've got one that's in education, and the other one she doesn't have to do a whole lot, but she's working at the school there in Bolivar. She's the only one that lives there, and
Oh wow,
so
that's where my band leader lives.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
well that's
absolutely.
cool.
Yeah. See, we keep digging.
I know.
Pretty soon we're gonna be cousins. You know.
I know. Absolutely. I've got this question I ask people, and I don't know why I ask it because 99.9% of the time I know what they're going to tell me. But what is the one venue that you would absolutely love to play?
When I ever get invited to the Grand Ole Opry House,
Hmm.
that would be it. Yeah, be in the middle of that circle. That'd be great.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That, that would be
Um,
the number one.
would you rather be at the Ryman or at the Gaylord Opry House?
Oh, gee. Well, the circle's at Gaylord Opry House, and that's the circle I was talking about. But there's still so much, you walking down those halls of the Ryman. You know,
Hmm.
I would say, I would say that both of them, both of them. You know,
For 2 nights, one at the
both of
Ryman,
them
the
in one.
next night at the Gaylord.
There we go. Opry winner at the Ryman, and then Opry at Bradley Parkway. Yeah.
Yep.
And for
Yep.
summer. Yeah. So Bradley
That would be,
Parkway for summer, downtown Nashville. There we go. Perfect. We got it. Now
yeah.
we just need to have them pick out the year, and we'll be ready to go.
Maybe next year. Who knows?
Come on now.
We'll just manifest that. It'll be next year.
Yeah. Perfect. I like your style.
So if there was one artist that you could have dinner with, who would you want to have dinner with, and what would your conversation be about?
I would love to have dinner with George Strait.
Mm-hmm.
And our conversation would probably be about and how lucky he has been to become who he is today.
Oh yeah.
He has lived in south of Dallas all these years and has never had to live in Nashville or experience Nashville. You know, I mean, he's been, of course, experienced Nashville to the,
Right.
you know, to no end, but you know, he's never had to uproot and move away from there. You know?
Right.
Of course, he started. His manager had the whole George Strait story. He had his manager get out of retirement to help him get where he is. His manager owned an establishment in Texas that him and his band played at every week.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, "Hey, you know, why don't you help me get to Nashville?" And that's how that happened. So
I've heard him tell this story about when he first got signed, and the record label suggested, first off, he change his name, and I believe it was Cole Cooper is what they told him to change his name to. And then the second thing they told him was, you got to get rid of the hat. And George was like, no.
oh my, oh, that's crazy! Wow, that is
Yeah.
crazy. I hadn't heard that story. Oh wow.
Yeah, that came straight from him, and I could not believe that. And the thing about it, it goes to show you, I got to be honest, and some people in Nashville are not big fans of mine, I think, when I say this, but it goes to show you what kind of control sometimes these labels want to take over your life. You know, they get you, you know, they want to tell you who you are and what you are and what you're going to eat and you know all that stuff. I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous at times.
I think the best formula is for us to be who we are,
Mm-hmm.
go for our first instinct. So wear the hat, don't wear the hat, go with your first instinct. Write
Mm-hmm.
that song, write that up, and whatever those first instincts are, and we throw it out there to the rest of the world and see what the people do with it. And then you'd be surprised if we let the people make the decisions. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it's amazing how it could hopefully and ultimately come back into our favor. And so we keep feeding them, you know, keep
Mm-hmm.
feeding them the next song that we write, or, you know, the next hat that we wear, or, you know, what we decide to take to the stage, you know.
Right.
And to keep them coming back, you know, keep
Yeah.
them into what you're doing. So the more that we can have a say in our own artistry, the better. I think the more genuine we can be for folks as well. So
That's some
my 2
amazing
cents.
advice, and I hope there's, I hope some young artists will tune into this at some point, and go, man, I never thought of it that way.
I hope so too.
You know,
And I try to be wise. I can get myself in trouble with the missus pretty quick. She'll quickly. She's like, "You're not that wise," So she'll let me know. Yeah.
yeah, they have a tendency to do that. So
They're always right.
right,
Always
exactly.
right.
Somebody's got to put us in our place, and it might as well be somebody we love.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think
So
saying you need to get in here.
she flipping the porch light on and off.
Absolutely.
Way the parents used to do when we were kids, they flip the porch light on and off. So real quick, this will be the last question, and I'll let you get in before you get in too much hot water. But where can folks find your music? Where can they check you out?
There we go.
We lose you?
Oh, almost, I think. He's
Well,
still there.
where can people go to find your music if they're looking for Joey Hurd? Where can they find everything at? Oh, here he went. I think we lost our connection there. I'll give him just a second and see if he comes back on. Nope. Well, I will tell you this, joeyhurd.com is where you need to go. So go to joeyhurd.com. There he is. He's back on. We got you.
Well, must be these mountains. I mean,
Yeah. I was just telling them where they could go to find more out about you and where you're going to be playing and get your music and all that stuff. So I got the website there. I hope that's right.
no. That's the website.
All right. So y'all go check Joey out. Give him a follow on his on all of his social media. Give him a follow on Spotify and iTunes, all the digital stores, and download his music. Keep an eye on where he's playing. He's got a lot of shows coming up. I've been looking over his tour list. He's got several shows coming up. And we definitely want you guys to support Joey. And don't forget to support b4Nashville. All you have to do is there you are. Whoops, lost him again. I did that one. So tell them a little bit about your social media and stuff where they can go to find you.
So Instagram is the best place.
Okay.
Instagram.com /Hurd Joey is the URL, but you just type Joey Hurd in Instagram. There we go.
All right. All right. Well, Joey, we'll let you go in so the wife don't get too upset with you, man. Thanks for coming on. It's been a blast chatting with you, and hope we'll get to see you soon.
Hey, thanks for having me. Y'all have a great night.
All right, everybody. We will see you again on Monday night with another artist, another one of those, bringing the country stars of tomorrow, and we'll do it all on Monday night. That was definitely not the way that was supposed to happen. Happens every time like that. Let's try it this way.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow b4Nashville on all social media and listen wherever you get your podcast. Tune in again for another country star of tomorrow on b4Nashville with George Davis. I'm Kevin Casey on behalf of Worldwide Pants. Have a great night.